means that we're well along into the season here, but if we're lucky, we can still find some. So you see all the catkins on the ground here. Look carefully wherever you walk. Try not to step where you haven't looked. Just in case you might step on them.
Sure.
But
to look it up as well, indeed, Mr. Hovener, to see. I mean, yeah, I've never encountered it before, and it was actually laying on the ground. I think someone knocked it off.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of them on that log over there, and so that was probably the one we picked to talk to the rest of the group while you were out foraging ahead. Oh, good. Excellent.
Set.
Really? Do you really eat these guys too?
Of course.
Yes?
Well, those are just snails. I wouldn't touch slugs necessarily.
Yeah.
The slugs, like the banana slugs and stuff. But snails.
Yeah, he is beautiful. He's so big.
It's tasty. And when our snails, you might find garter snakes, and those are edible as well.
Oh, that would make me sad.
That will develop into hollow spots in between them.
You want to?
Yes. So, hey, everybody, this is for your life. Everybody.
That's my stupid phone company.
Let's see. Why don't we all go on that side of the river so we can all gather around and take a look at this.
This is
really a
good example. If you have things to
Was it in the water?
It's like a mini devil's club almost. But
It was in the water. Floating in the water.
Oh, floating in the
So it's
water.
bad?
Oh, okay.
It is very bad.
Oh.
water hemlock.
We'll find out. So, what makes water hemlock is that there's a number of edible things, like water parsnip that grows in the water.
Cow parsnip.
And there's other edibles.
This is the hemlock that they fed Socrates. So.
No, it's not. That was poison hemlock, not water hemlock.
Oh, well.
But it's close.
It's close.
It's as far as
They're both deadly.
They're both deadly as far as that goes.
And both an alkaloid, right?
Yeah. So if we open this is really young, but you can see some maybe some cross chambers in there. It is hard to see. There, this is really young, and so the younger they are, they haven't yet formed their chambers yet inside to see sufficiently. But there's evidence of some lines here that. Let's see if we can get a different spot here.
So what are the lines for?
Okay, there's this is unusual in a root to have a piece. See these divisions, walls, partitions. So there's partitions in the root of this particular species that is only present in Angelica and no other plants that I know of. And so that way you can, and the way you tell the difference between Angelicas and this, Angelicas have a tap root, and this is just a tuberous swelling at the bottom of the stem. Also, the Angelicas have one stem coming out of the root, whereas these guys have multiple stems coming out of the root base, a tuberous base. So there's they look the same on the top of sort of the leaf, like carrot type of leaf here on the top, but if you look at them carefully, you can see the difference between a swollen tuberous base versus a carrot taproot base that goes straight down into the ground.
Okay.
And so this is the most deadly plant on the continent.
Wow.
And one root like this could kill a human being.
Wow.
So it's important you don't get this mixed up with your carrots or your parsley or parsnips or anything else that you try to eat out in the wild. This is a wake-up call for everybody that you need to know everything to species. And if anybody, including me, says something's edible, you always want to ask them, what part is it edible and how is it edible? You have to cook it 6 times to leach out toxins or how? So when something's edible, you just don't run and scarf it down. You need to know what part and how it's made edible if it needs to be processed at all.
So what's the poisonous part of that?
the whole plant.
Okay.
The whole plant. So
That makes it
we need to rinse this knife off in that water before we put it on anything else.
Good point.
And I think further, if we found this here, we might be able to find some larger ones. We'll keep our eyes peeled when we're driving back and see if we can find some more and some water runoff like this, and show you a bigger one. One thing about the resin on this, the poisonous resin on this, will turn reddish brown when it dries, when exposed to air. And it also helps to identify it versus some similar lookalike. So we can see if we can find a bigger one that has developed the oil and the chamber is more obvious to test that out. But anyway, you can see how much it looks like a carrot, and but it doesn't have the carrot type root on it, which is yeah. But there's happens that the poison hemlock that kills Socrates does have a carrot root on it. So the carrot root does not make it safe. So it can still kill you. But it will probably have more than one stalk coming off of that, rather than just one stalk that a carrot does.
And it's still chambered, right?
And it's the poisonous is hollow, but it's not chambered.
Oh, okay.
The poison hemlock is not chambered. So you might think, but if it's hollow, that's the bad sign, because the stem of a true carrot is not hollow, and it leads down to a taproot that's like poison hemlock, but it differs in that respect. And also, the true carrot has little tiny hairs on it. If you look carefully, I always carry a lens to look at things carefully, and the little hairs on a carrot plant will tell the difference between these deadly ones that don't have hairs on it, and also difference. But we're starting to get integrating of a species in nature over many decades and centuries of time, and some of the deadly constituents of this here, of this water hemlock, is thought maybe to have gotten over into the angelicas, which are used medicinally and flavoring agents. And so I don't use angelicas knowing that, because they have chambered roots, and it's just not worth getting a mix up. One root, a small root like this, could kill you or make you really sick, and it's just not worth it. Yeah. So this, I'm really glad we found this. Thank you very much. This is the biggest lesson of the day. You know, how not to hurt yourself in the wild. And then once you learn all the deadly and poisonous plants, then everything becomes more safe to survive off of. So that's what I did when I first learned all the deadly poisonous mushrooms and plants before I went out trying things on my own. And so I pass it on to you. And this is a really good example.
If you bite it, it's real sweet, and instantly it gets really bitter.
This is a prize that Tom found.
What is it?
This is a leaf from Chrysanthemum leucanthemum, which is known as Oxeye daisy. These leaves are the best. They're sweet.
You only found one?
And so we're just going to have to add it to our salad. We're just going to have to go back to the road there. So
Okay, they're over there.
Call people
Wait
out
a
of here
minute.
early.
Show them the other leaf, or did you eat them all?
I ate it. Sorry.
I might have one more in my bag.
Well, there's more along the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so anybody store anything yet? Right here, one yes. Okay, I tell you what, I have some easier hunting for you. Come on out, we're going to try to find a treat. Tom found some Chrysanthemum leucanthemum that has to go in your salad bag. A special treat that is probably the best tasting, unprocessed plant you'll find in the wild.
I've got a question.
Come on out and we'll go run that down.
This is Speedwell. I'm not sure.
It says bittercress.
Bittercress?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's really nice bittercress.
That's that one that we put into our salad?
Yeah, this is for salad. That's
I wanna say-
you can taste it, and it's has a little bite to it, very pleasant.
Okay. This is Mountain Avon right here. It's a small one. It's bad for the heart.
Bad for the heart, what does it
Yeah.
do?
Well, this here is common plantain or Plantago major. It's good for clearing organs. It's great tortoise food.
and it's good for humans too. So these
You can pick these.
put a
Put
couple
them
in your
bag.
yeah. If you can find some of these, put one or two fresh ones in your
Oh, we've got some here.
luncheon. What?
I can't see how you're finding them all.
Here, why don't you put them in here?
There we go.
Okay.
Now
Yeah.
I got a
How can you
question. Did you
tell
see any
if they're
back there with
too
the
old?
caps off of them, just the stems sticking out
Yes.
of the ground? Those are the ones the deer ate the caps. They don't eat the stems.
Actually, the cap fell off.
Okay.
But the deer might have knocked it off trying to eat it.
Yeah, deer
But-
eat the caps.
So you don't want to
And
eat
you
anything
pick
that's
the
soft
stems anyway,
and
their
doesn't
stems are still
isn't
good to
crisp
eat.
anymore.
Yeah.
So, that,
So you cut that part.
The cap is not good.
Except the cap is always limber. So I would this looks like where it attaches is bad. This is the stalk should be crisp when it breaks,
Okay.
and so any part that isn't crisp when it breaks, you cut that out.
Okay.
And so that part in there, but this whole cap is good and desirable here. Just cut that. Oh,
The mushy part
see the
off.
mushy stem. See the stem part up there? It's kind of decayed. So we cut that part out, and then it's all edible then.
Well, what we may do is throw that off into our little alder patch. Back at that.
You found it. You can do what you want with it.
Oh, really?
You just have to share a little bit for everybody to have.
Oh, we've got plenty to share.
Luncheon.
Finding them all.
What?
I can't see how you're finding them all.
Here, why don't you put them in here?
There we go.
It looks like a lacy
Does it
fern. It gets lacy like that. It has
get- yeah,
three
yeah.
laces
Yeah,
like that.
Huh.
Yeah. Insect in there onto a thorn, and
Fish.
there's if I could be a little more patient and less excited, I could get the outside part of this off and the very thin, almost invisible interior thread out of there for tying, so the fish don't see it. But
Got some bracken behind you too.
okay, oh good. But anyway, you can see it stretches quite strong. And
The bracken's right here,
oh yeah.
and there's another one back up there.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here's another score.
Oh, good. Okay.
This is the best fern we'll find in the Western Cascades. This is Bracken fern, and the way you pick this is that you pick it where it breaks crisply away from the ground. So if you take this and you try to break it, and it doesn't want to break crisply, then you break it higher. And when it breaks cleanly, fairly cleanly like that, then the top part is edible. And you can eat it raw for a small amount, but there's an enzyme in here called thiaminase that needs to be cooked so that you inactivate that enzyme so it doesn't ruin your vitamin B1 that you get from other plants. So we generally cook this. So I want people to collect this for our main cook dish. So if you find any of these, this is a score.
Are those the ones that kids throw?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Those
they
are the
throw
spear
nicely.
ferns.
What does that
Yeah.
look like when it gets bigger?
Done that many times.
It looks like a lacy
Does
fern.
it
It gets lacy like that. It has
get, yeah,
three
yeah.
laces
Yeah, I know.
like
yeah.
that.
Huh.
Yeah.
These are Oxeye daisies.
There's a bunch more back right here.
This is sheep sorrel. It's got a nice sour flavor and good to eat in salads. If I can hold on to it.
That is our dead one.
Here's what it's probably too. I don't know what. It's all the nutrients have gone into making fern stuff, spores and leaves and fiber stuff, and so all the energy and good stuff for our bodies are out of there to make fern stuff with.
Okay.
And so it's
I've eaten the fiddleheads when they've just barely started to open
that's fine.
and been fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg, right where you're standing, where you were standing, at the end of your right toe is foxglove.
Yeah, we already found that. We told everybody about it.
Are they any good to eat?
Oh, it's poisonous because of the heart.
That's what I thought.
Cardiac glycosides in there. Okay. All right. All right. So, could you wash your leg?
Thank you.
Please, make it well above the.
Yeah, not by the,
Okay. Here we go. Okay. And
so what about that?
Pulled the hemlock right out of here. He's allergic to hemlock.
okay, so the if you look at the blossom, you can see little stamens down there that stick up. There's 4 tall ones and 2 short ones on both sides. And yeah, so the bittercress that we've been finding does not have the 2 little short stamens. It just has the 4 tall ones like this. But this is more of the true cabbage family. This watercress, and here's a really good blossom. Look at here. This one's kind of open. You can see into that one.
Now, all this is edible too?
Yeah, if it weren't growing with the water hemlock.
So that's like watercress?
Can you see
This is fun.
the blossom here has 4 stamens that are tall and 2 that are short.
Right, but yes, but normally
Oh, yeah, I see
is it
it.
edible?
It's
See
normally
that?
used
So this isn't like the bittercress we've been finding. This is watercress, or more like the true cabbage.
And it's
The-
a
the-
4
the-
and 2, right?
Yeah, 4 and 2. 4 tall stamens and 2 short ones. Lower, set lower at lower height. You see it?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. You see 4 petals and those 6 stamens in that pattern. Custard out of it. I mean, this makes a believer out of anybody when you try it. So yeah, that's getting.
You want the
a lot over here.
Yeah, that's the good part.
hollows okay?
Yeah, hollow's fine. So make sure it's no more than 3 feet. That's about maximum there. Uh-huh.
Oh, is it?
Okay, so
I should get my knife, right?
yeah, get your knife and so can I make you the count person? Sure. So we need, say 16 of those, and we can throw the excess away.
All right, 16 of these.
You don't have a knife, huh?
No, but you guys don't care if they're noxious weeds. We doesn't care if we pull them up.
Yeah, well, it's
There's 3 more.
okay.
These are skinnier.
Good.
But
Yeah, try to get the thick ones. So.
all right.
I gotta bring a knife this time.
Here, I've got a knife.
All right.
We'll collaborate.
All right.
I just seen that one's a hollow.
That's funny, huh?
Okay, the one he got over here was not. So some of them are, some of them aren't.
I have a
It's
spare knife for somebody, I guess. If
You gotta cut the hollow part out then, or what?
No, just leave the.
weird. Okay, well here's 2 more then.
John, he's got another knife.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's okay.
Does it have a lot of vitamins in it and minerals and?
Yeah, it does. It has some. It has vitamin. It has vitamin C and quite a few minerals. Potassium, for example. I don't think we have. Okay. All right. Whoa.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, we probably got enough then.
Which I think we're getting close to enough for the group.
Yeah. Hey guys, I think we have enough.
So the center, does it have a lot of carbohydrates in it, or?
It's hollow in the center.
Uh-huh.
Oh, here, you've got a nice fruit.
So.
Will would love to try this, I think.
Oh wow. Okay. This is
yeah.
kind
Is that one too big?
of big. It's still within 3 feet.
Yeah.
That's
You got teenagers.
but it's getting kind of big.
You try it.
Getting kind of big.
So, if it's more than 3 feet, is it too fibrous
It's
to
just
eat?
too fibrous. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we get bloated because our bodies can't handle that.
So you can just blend these for juice then too? Or?
Yeah, use it for juice, you bet. Yeah. So this is going to be our beverage. This will be a lemonade for the day.
So you just peel it and get rid of the leaves, and then you can like put it
What?
in the juicer?
You put it in the
But you need
juicer
to-
with all of it then, the fiber and all then, huh?
Yeah, after you get the fibrous outer layer scraped
Oh,
off.
scrape the skin off.
Yeah, see that?
Just that much?
Get the red off. Yeah, just that much.
Just the red, okay.
Yeah, just
Then
get
you boil it?
Yeah,
Well, you
Yeah.
don't have to boil it though, right? If you throw it in my Vitamix, it would...
Probably be okay. I don't know if any toxins from that, but I always feel more comfortable cooking it or boiling it before I eat it. I've always just done that. I've never had any problems with eating a bunch of it.
Yeah.
I haven't tried to see how much I could eat raw.
Okay, I'll boil it.
For which is this?
This is the Japanese knotweed.
Aye.
For boiling. Oh, the knotweed?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I cooked this before I.
This is 17 right here.
17? Okay.
How much do we need?
I mean, it's 16 feet.
Oh.
So.
We're like
Yeah, we're doing good.
100 feet.
Oh, we're going.
Yeah.
Well, I can take some home.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so, yeah, you can have some take home if you want. It looks like we have enough for our beverage to serve everybody, so. Okay, so have a plastic bag to put those in?
Sure.
Okay.
So when you're doing it, do you want this size or do you want the fatter? Does it matter?
Well, this here is it's just about getting to be too big.
Too big?
When it cooks up, though, we can screen out the stuff that doesn't break loose. But when you cook it, it breaks down and dissipates very finely, like hairy. It's like celery wood, you know, when it's really heavy fiber, it doesn't break down. Just it stays in sections of stock and doesn't break down very easily. So we want it to self-disintegrate when we cook it, and then that's the right stage and size. So
You need more.
so they're thick without being too woody is what we want. And usually if they're under 2 feet, then that's going to be fine for any of them. They're not going to be too woody if they're no more than 2 feet tall. Some of these, this one here is pretty close to 3 feet when you consider the top that was on there. So that's probably the
let's
big.
throw that one because there's lots of them.
Okay. Yeah, this is a little bit stronger. See it down here? And so this is the fibrous part. Where it breaks like that, that's good. That's the good part to eat. So when it's too fibrous to break, then.
In other words, if you were to come out here and just like snap them off like asparagus, you'd be getting just about the best parts of it then.
Yeah.
Right?
See this is getting to be a little bit too fibrous here when things like that.
Okay.
And so we want it to break a little easier, so we'll keep this part here, and that will be the more enjoyable eating. You could still eat that, but it's just less elegant if you don't have to spit out the fiber that doesn't chew down too well.
Do you have enough?
Yeah, we have enough. You have some to take home if you want, or whatnot. Thank you very much. Okay, so all parts are very fragile, and if you treat them roughly, you can keep them from injuring you. It's when you brush them lightly that the histamine, the serotonin, the formic acid, the number of chemicals in them can be injected into your skin. And so if you grab them with a twisting motion to knock the hairs over firmly, then you can pick them without gloves. And so you grab it firmly, and then no sting at all. And then you can eat these raw if you mix them with your saliva well, and make sure you have them not just brushing you. So I always very firmly crush those hairs and then mix it with my saliva, and then I don't get any stinging from it. Now
That would be awful inside your mouth.
Yeah. So it's really a good tasting raw vegetable, but you don't want to eat a lot in quantity that way. Just to be on the safe side. Cooking it up in warm water will take those hairs and make them limp so they can't inject their irritations into your skin then. And then the water will dilute the stuff so it doesn't become an irritant to us either. So you don't want to eat a large volume of this raw because you can't be diluting it in a small amount of saliva or raw stomach content. So you want to cook it in water or steam it and mix it with other food before you eat large quantities of this.
When I was a kid, the myth was you wouldn't get stung if you were holding your breath when you touched it. but it's because you were purposely touching it, so you were being rough with it.
That works with an electric fence too.
Yeah, well, except but it works with the stinging nettle, but it's not because you're holding your breath, it's because you're grabbing it firmly
So how much
instead
more
of
do we
brushing
need
it lightly.
Have we got enough now?
There's something to talk about.
How much do we need?
Okay, so we need 16 sprigs.
Oh, we've got
Oh, yeah,
tons.
we got
Okay.
Okay, so
We probably have close to 60.
well, okay, we have 30. That's
These are
fine.
good for arthritis, you know that?
Huh?
Arthritis?
arthritis.
Yes,
Oh.
you have to, what you do, I don't want to do it, on your bare skin. You have
Oh yes, I've heard of that. Yes.
That's, you know, they do.
Yes, it does.
So you whack yourself on
You
the
whack
skin?
yourself.
Yeah,
And
if
it
you have
saves
some,
you
and then it
one
hurts
time.
so
If you have
much that you don't
shingles,
mind the arthritis.
yeah, it's right. No, it's right. It's better than the painful shingles or arthritis feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's what he was saying.
Yeah,
He said if
so
you
But
that-
ladies, if you,
lay
this
down,
is good
then
for
they can
hair,
get
it makes you shiny, you know, if you're into this.
This cleavers here is it's edible in small amounts when it's really young and prime like this, but it's not very good tasting and not very, it's mostly fibrous, so it doesn't add much to our diet. So we're not going to bother with it. When it gets older and produces a bunch of seeds, some people make coffee out of the seeds, but they're really tiny and it takes an awful lot of work to prepare.
You know what my mother used to do?
It's better for sleeping with, making pillows.
She chopped them off and she gave these to the
Oh,
dogs.
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Dogs to have.
Okay, so put these in a bag if you would, and so we can take them. And there's along here there should be some horsetail too that I
Oh,
spotted.
yeah, I saw, though that one's broke off.
So horsetail
Oh,
has
yeah.
been mowed over.
Okay, here's a species of horsetail that this is Equisetum hyemale, and this one we don't eat because you can see it's so thin. There's hardly any meat compared to the thicker ones that are Telmatia. So we're looking for some thick ones of these now that should be along here nearby.
Looks like they broke it all off.
Yeah, the mower came through. Whack, whack, whack. Put some mud on it, man.
Babe,
Yeah?
you want to put yours on? Oh, I got it.
The coating on these guys, down to there, then
have the spore tops?
Oh, okay.
this is edible like celery.
Oh, the ones that are greenish looking are the ones you don't want.
Right.
See, those, go ahead. Here.
These are the same plant that we saw up on the road.
That's the ones
up
you
in
don't
the
want, right?
mountain.
those. You
But this is the vegetative form that is not is usually edible. It's too much silicon, too much fiber in these. This is the same plant, but in the vegetative state. This is the fertilizing state of the same plant, and this is one we want, you see, because it's so much thicker and so much more nutrition in these stalks.
Yeah.
So you want all this part off?
Yeah, so we can do that at camp, but we can break the top off here and leave the top, and we can clean up the rest of it when we get to camp.
Don't taste good.
And then you have to cook this before you eat this?
No, you can eat it raw for small amounts.
Right now?
Uh-huh, yeah.
So there's liquid in here?
Yeah, that's liquid, that's fine.
You can like drink that?
Yeah, that's a good water substitute, and actually, it's a good nettles treatment too. Any juicy plant, when you get nettles sting, you squeeze the juice on it and it helps dilute it.
Doesn't really have a flavor.
All absorbed into your skin.
you know. You're gonna eat
Oh, I
something
thought it had some
better
kind
not
of
to have flavor, I
astringent
guess.
quantity
Yeah.
that neutralized the.
Pretty refreshing.
But anyway, yeah, it's kind of a succulent celery.
Wow,
So a small amount you can eat that without cooking it. Okay, so we have all we need for a dinner there. It looks like lunch. So just head up the index for the last stop.
So we don't need a lot of those either, huh?
Before we hit the
He's at 16 feet again?
Yep, 16 feet.
They probably got it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We got some.
the leaves here, it has different kind of leaves of its own, but this is the same plant. This is the flowering part, and this is the vegetative part. So like Echinacea has a vegetative part and a pollinating part to the horsetail that we just got through picking. So this is, the reason I show this to you is this is my favorite salt substitute in Cascade Mountains. So you can make it out of other kind of plants, cow parasitic, but this is by far the really good tasting salt. And so I'll just take a little handful to burn if we have time to at camp. So I was hoping to get a whole bunch to burn up for so we could salt our dinner with it, but it takes time. There's only so much time. So I'll give you some teaching skills that you can maybe go home and try it yourself.
Where do you find these all over?
What's that?
Where do you find these?
They like moist areas, and they like the early spring.
Okay.
So you find them after the snow melt. A lot of times there'll be little patches here and there in the area, and they'll be starting coming up, and then of course after the snow's all melted, they'll still be coming up. So this is kind of still early. You can see that there's no leaves, hardly any of these trees, deciduous trees around here. So this is early season. So this is an early season plant. Once it gets to be well, when the plant gets old and big, you still can pick on the leaves and burn them.
Oh,
cool.
And then you have to burn them?
You have to burn the leaves, yeah. And so I have a screen with me. And so I put these on the screen, and I have hold the screen over the campfire or some kind of burn, and it turns it all into ashes. And then your screen will hold the ashes if you don't jiggle it too much. And then you can pour it into something that then you can cauterize. Yeah, and shake it out.
Oh, a mortar first.
Yeah, So anyway, we'll take these few with us in case we can try a sample of burning these if we have time. Thank you. And then we'll head up to the trailhead for the last part of the stop here, and then we'll be cooking up.
Okay.
What are we getting there?
We're going to look for Cordyceps, the carnivorous mushroom, and we're going to look for the beautiful bittercress, which was what Lewis and Clark found when they came over here, a native plant that they found and logged as being noteworthy, which is relative of the watercress we found and the bittercress we found, except it like the Loripa genus, that has the 4+2 stamens on it, and a much showier, prettier blossom to look at. And then there's some other fungi that are going to be up in this area too that we can find, but mostly there'll be one edible one. Hopefully we'll find, there'll be, I'm guaranteed there's a Sarcoscypha coccinea, one of the most beautiful mushrooms you ever want to see that's edible, but only one little patch of it I found. So we get what we can get, Frog-pelt lichen, I've always called it.
Okay.
Yeah. And here's a little Dacromyces palmatus. Here. This is a kind of dried jelly fungus. Here. So.
And if eaten in this, it has to be raw. You can't cook it. 2, if you touch it and it stains blue, throw it away.
So this one you have to eat raw?
No, you can cook this one too, actually.
And what's that one called?
The scarlet cup.
Scarlet
Cup fungus, yeah. So this is, you can take a little taste of it raw if you want, but it's sort of like, one taste is worth 1,000 words, isn't it?
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. So
So did you find that, was some other moss over it, or no?
No.
Okay.
No, it was, I put the other moss on
To
top
keep
of
it
it to keep it
moist?
moist. Uh-huh.
And where did you find it?
Along the road here.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is a marker of this will come up before the verpas come up, before the early fungi come up. So if you find young specimens of this, just smaller than this, then you know that you're
You're not
early in the
gonna find
season and probably not going to find anything. But when these are fully mature, getting to be this stage, then you look for your mushrooms then. And so we can give everybody a slice of this to try. And this is one of the most pretty additions to a salad if you were to slice this into a salad. And it's better than most cup fungi. It has decent texture and not bad taste. So can't have everything.
Reminds me of something. Beets.
Radishes.
Yeah,
I go for radishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's got the kind of
And
earthy
because of the
beet
red
flavor.
color in it, it suggests and is rich in carotenoids, which is the anti-aging, free radical scavenging stuff we want to always have in our diet every day.
It's all right.
So
It's good. For something that
That's
looks
nice.
weird, that's gonna kill you. Looks like it'll kill you. Anything red, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So this is a marker besides being something edible. I've never found it in large quantity. This is a nice clump as I ever have found, and so it's a special treat to be able to share this with you.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
What's its Latin name?
So this is Sarcoscypha. Cypha meaning a cup. A cyphus is Latin for cup. So and then sarco means fleshy. So this is kind of a fleshy, thick cup. So Sarcoscypha, and then the coccinea species is named after the color. Coccineus in Latin means scarlet. So scarlet flesh cup. That's what so if you know your Latin, it makes it easy to remember the names of the plant. So
And is there any mushroom that kind of looks like it that is not good for you? That you could mistake it for?
Yeah,
No.
I thought most red color is like a flag. It can be poisonous.
yeah, some red things can be poisonous, like red elderberries need to have the cyanide cooked out of them before you eat them over here. But this is an example of something red that is edible. Let's quickly just go up that starting of that road and make see if we can't find some cordyceps, the carnivorous mushroom, and
We're in
couple.
trouble.
Siberian miner's lettuce.
Couple handfuls of that. And this. And we won't have time to find the cordyceps. The 4 tall stamens and the 2 shorter stamens along both sides. You're almost with the naked eye.
What's that supposed to be?
Watercress.
So this is beautiful
That's the leaf
bittercress.
of the
Bittercress.
That's a relative of watercress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was to say
Yeah. So you can see almost with your
Did you
naked
get a good
eye
picture?
the 4 stamens and
take a
the
video
2
of it,
shorter
Oh yeah.
stamens.
Thanks.
Picture of this.
But anyway, for those interested in mushrooms, it was, you see those the hikers are up there on the roadway?
Yeah.
On the right side of the road, underneath the conifers, if we had time, but we don't because we have to be out of here. But there's a butterfly pupa that butterflies, have different stages. And the pupal stage, the Cordyceps mushroom grows out of. And so when it produces the club, when you look for things in the woods and you see a little club thumb about the size of my finger actually, a little bit thinner, skinnier, and about maybe only that tall, so it's really small. Sticking up, then you look to see where it comes from, and it should be from a pupa of some insect. And what it's trying to do is, the mushroom of course has the spores to reproduce the species, and so it's all produced on the outside. It's not like a mushroom where a store mushroom where the spores fall out from underneath. It's all coated on the outside. So another insect comes along and lands on it, or licks on it, or gets on it, and gets some of the spores onto it or into its mouth. Then the spores will hatch, so to speak, or germinate, and then it'll grow and thrive and kill the butterfly or the insect eventually. But it tries to do it slowly so it doesn't lose its food source. And usually about the time where it'll set the butterfly into making a pupa for its final resting stage before it produces another butterfly. So about that time, then when it produces the pupa, then the mushroom realizes that, well, this animal's dead now, and so it's time to use what nutrients are left in the pupa here. So it engulfs the pupa, ruins the butterfly's reproductive cycle, but sends up this mushroom that we can see to do it all over again, to catch another insect coming along to get the spores. And so it's a carnivorous, literally carnivorous. It kills these insects, and then
kind of look antlerish, kind of almost, don't they?
well, the Cordyceps I'm talking about are clubs. They're like clubs without any multiple spikes. It's just one club that sticks up, and that's been known to be cultivated commercially for producing a general enhancing effect of the human body. So it's thought maybe to help the adrenal glands work better, the hormones, male, for people with trouble with impotence, and for general energy levels. It's also found to have some polysaccharides and other constituents that are helpful for suppressing certain kind of cancers. And so there's a lot of interest in trying to cultivate it and growing large amounts of it so you can get enough of it in a big human being to do some therapeutic advantage. So that's a really exciting mushroom, and I've never found more than one or two at a time. And this is the place, up this road and on the right, and if you have a chance to.
Yeah, okay.
And you just have to, but it could be anywhere where the butterfly lands,
How
you know.
does it look?
You know what, like the pupa is just like a little casing, a beetle casing type of thing.
When do they grow?
Pardon me?
When do they grow? Springtime?
Spring and fall. Yeah, it's whenever. I think in fall time you're more likely to find it, because it usually that's when most insects will make their pupas. But if they're forced to make it early because of the mushroom in there, then it could happen, you know, much earlier in the season. But fall time would be the more, you know, likely time to find it. So anyway, well, this will be for our dinner. So we're gonna head off and try to put our food together now at Index. Did everybody get a chance to try a little bit of the sprig if they wanted to? The beautiful bittercress. Okay.
No, we said
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So the Coltfoot and nettles are in there, or just the Coltfoot and nettles? Okay.
So the Coltfoot.
Do we want to do that? Get that going right now, or no?
No, Coltfoot will be sort of the last thing.
Okay.
If we have time for.
What do we need?
We're putting things out on the plate. So one plate per kind of food.
Okay.
And so I can see what we have and how much we have.
I wonder if we need two for the mushroom. And if you feel under the moss, there's like a vine growing around the tree, and that's what you pick off of it.
But that's a fern there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
So
this is a fern too,
growing
huh?
on the, no, I think that's moss and stuff. And,
It's just the root that's underneath.
and then there's this was just moss and stuff covering it, and then that was the root. You can just feel it. You can feel like a cord on the tree.
Wow. So,
Snap until it goes clean.
yeah, so it goes fairly
like
clean.
asparagus.
Yeah. So don't be too tough on it. Yeah. Yeah. See, that was pretty good. That's a pretty good snap. So we'll take that.
And we want to scrape
just,
it.
Yeah. Get all the red off. Just get the red off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you do that with that bunch, that'd be great. Except I need the table to be freed up, so if you move that out, that'd be great. And this will become the cooking table. Here's yeah, that's
Sodium. 11, 12? Is that count the each little piece of equipment?
no.